After the dragon falls. The dragon's head was lifted on a foreign spike. The Ottoman banners waved over Wallachian soil, and the world believed the impaler's shadow had ended. But shadows do not end. They migrate. When Vlad Drăculea fell, the Anunnaki imprint within his lineage did not die with his severed body. It seeped into symbols, into superstitions, into the frightened stories whispered across Europe as the Middle Ages deepened like a winter night. For though the dragon's sun was gone, the world was not free. Instead, it entered a new era, a time between ages, a time of kings and contagion, a time when both light and shadow hid inside the hearts of men. Heaven called it what it truly was. The medieval times, the middle era of evil's lingering influence, before the world would awaken again. High kingdoms in the shadow of the dragon. Across Europe, power fractured like broken glass. Feudal lords warred for scraps, peasants starved beneath banners promising protection. The church wrestled with corruption and purpose. The Ottoman crescent pressed deeper into Christian lands. The Holy Roman Empire splintered in politics and pride. Every ruler believed himself chosen. Every throne believed itself divine. But the children of light saw what kings could not. The same dragon that whispered to Vlad now whispered through empires, not visibly, not with pale-skulled giants marching openly, but through fear masquerading as law, cruelty disguised as order, superstition twisted into dogma, power justified by violence. The medieval times were not dark because knowledge vanished. They were dark because the shadow refined its craft. The phantom of the impaler, Vlad's death birth legends fueled by Saxon printers, Ottoman witnesses and terrified travelers who swore his cruel spirit stalked the night. They painted him a monster, they painted him immortal, they painted him drinking blood. But the children of light knew the truth. It was not the man who returned, but the pattern, the Anunnaki principle of rulership, reincarnated itself in every corner of Europe. Princes began to display enemies on walls, impale rebels, burn heretics, use terror as currency, fashion their sigils after dragons and beasts. 1,000 mini-impaler kings rose from the ashes of his reign. Humanity had not slain the dragon. Humanity had adopted it. The children of shadow move in secret. While kingdoms fought, the Anunnaki remnant acted quietly. No longer giants of rehab, no longer pale conquerors in ancient armor. They became alchemists in hidden courts, whisperers in royal ears, architects behind crusades, invisible hands shaping fear. Wherever rulers chose terror over truth, shadow smiled. Wherever priests chose power over mercy, shadow celebrated. Wherever people chose superstition over wisdom, shadow multiplied. The medieval times were a feast for them, a night stretching across centuries. A world between plague and revelation. Plague swept the land, famine followed, war shadowed both. Millions died under skies where the Father felt distant, and angels walked unseen. Yet in the devastation, something unexpected happened. Humanity began searching, not for empire, not for kings, not for fear, but for meaning. The spark of light that survived through prophets, apostles, and martyrs glowed in monasteries, in wandering friars and villages clinging to prayer as their last defense. Darkness recoiled at the sight of hope, resting in the unlikeliest hearts. The eye echoes of the dragon in high places. The legend of Vlad traveled farther than his armies ever did. In distant courts, rulers whispered, if such terror can hold back empires, perhaps we too must rule with the dragon's fang. And thus, the Inquisition sharpened its tools. Witch trials consumed the innocent. Cruelty became doctrine. Kings adopted the policy of fear. Church and crown wielded violence in the name of heaven. The children of light trembled, not from fear of death, but because they recognized the pattern. The Anunnaki did not need to rule. Humans now rule themselves in the dragon's image.
We dawned beneath the darkness. Yet even in the thickest night, the Father planted seeds across the ruins of plague and war. Knowledge flickered in hidden libraries. The scholars preserved ancient texts. Artists began to paint light even while living in shadow. Thinkers questioned inherited fear. Believers carried faith like fire, a quiet awakening brewed beneath the medieval gloom. The dragon's roar was fading. The light's whisper was rising.
The medieval times were not the end, but the middle, a valley between two mountains, the fall of Rome and the rise of a new age. The shadows sensed it. They grew desperate. They tightened their grip. But dawn was coming. Nate, what the children of light foresee, the children of light record this age, not as a tragedy, but as a turning point, for they understood. When the dragon loses its heir, it tries to make the whole world its lineage. The people of this age, from peasants to kings, stood at a crossroads. Follow fear or seek truth. Some chose terror, some chose light. Most simply struggled to survive. But heaven was not silent. The Father watched, the angels waited. The Messiah's victory still echoed, and prophecy whispered that the world would awaken soon. The medieval times were the last long night before humanity's next dawn. And though the dragon still lingered in bloodlines, myths, and thrones, its reign was not eternal. Light was returning. Slowly, quietly, relentlessly.